All right, time to look at your profile. And, we're about to dive into a whole bunch of details here. I can almost hear some of you saying, though, okay, we've been doing some lessons here. Let's get to it. What is actually going to make the difference? How am I going to win freelance jobs? How am I going to make money? How am I going to make a living from this? This is really the point where we stop from laying the foundation and the theoretical and really move into the practical and what is going to separate you from your competition, what's going to help clients and those that are posting jobs evaluate you and decide to choose you as someone they want to hire as a freelancer. So here we go. Get ready for it. And it's called your profile, and profile is the word that Upwork uses to describe the area or a page or pages that they've dedicated to your Upwork account, where people can come in and look at effectively your resume, your work history, samples of your success, your picture. Anyway, we'll see. We're going to go through it right now. I don't know why I'm just listing it out randomly. Let's have a look. And as we do it, we're going to be looking at my profile right here. And we're going to be looking at it. And I'm not going to pretend that I have a perfect profile, but I will tell you that I believe it's pretty solid, and I have focused on the things that matter, and it has served me well. So that's what I want to tell you on that. And what I want to do is just throw up on the screen here the items that matter. And then what we're going to do is we're going to flip back over to my profile screen on Upwork, and we're going to go through them one by one. And I'll sort of make some comments, additional commentary as we go through it. Again, if you're on a different freelancing site or you're using multiple freelance sites, I believe the principles here are the same, and you're going to have pretty much one-for-one comparisons compared to this Upwork profile. So let's go ahead and begin. First thing is a photo of yourself. That's pretty straightforward. Your name and job title being the most important thing here so far. The amount of dollars you charge per hour. Not positive Upwork requires that, but I've got it in mind. I think it's wise to put that in there. It kind of helps to establish yourself. Listing of your skills. So you need to list skills that you consider yourself very well equipped to deliver. Don't stretch to the truth. If you have a skill that you're still working on, just keep in mind you need to become an expert or at least very good at that skill before you begin a job. There's an opportunity for you to have a video, basically a video overview of what you do and your approach to business or whatever niche that you're in. If your main focus is web development, then that's what the video should be about. There's an overview section. There's a work history and feedback session, absolutely crucial. There's a portfolio, work samples essentially. There's certifications and tests that Upwork allows you to take. Your employment history, similar in education, very similar to what you would see on a resume. Your work history, I guess I've listed this twice for some reason. Your work history. And your availability, basically, are you looking for new work right now? Because while we've been talking very much about going out and finding jobs to bid on, sometimes you'll get invitations to bid on people's jobs because they've looked at you before or Upwork has recommended you to them through their algorithm. Your response time, basically your responsiveness, your profile link, a link to the profile itself, languages that you're able to provide work in, and there you go. And then from there we're going to look at some profile settings. But let's go over to my profile page, so we're not just talking abstract here, and let's go through them. So here's a photo. I believe, I'm not going to harp on this too much. Make it a professional photo. It doesn't have to be you in a suit, in a tie, or in a gown, or anything too formal. But I would say a business casual, I think is the term. Just professional, okay? You don't have to look like a model or anything. I mean, you don't have to be as drop dead gorgeous as me here. That's a little Upwork humor there. This is also me about 15 or 10 years ago. That's an old photo. Picture me with less hair and an additional 30 or 40 pounds. Okay, let's move on. I'm getting lost in my own bad jokes. Your dollars per hour. So on this one, I've put it in here, and I believe in making this as high as is marketable. So I believe Upwork will allow you to leave it out. Let me just click on the edit here. I think you can just leave it out if you don't want to put it in. But I actually think put in about the highest amount that you believe will be marketable, because it's not that critical, because ultimately you're going to be bidding on jobs and putting in specific price ranges for the jobs that you're bidding on. So I actually think it's good to have a fairly high amount here so that you look confident and competent instead of just looking like someone that'll work for nothing. All right, some of these things are very much, what's the word? They're not as they seem. They're counterintuitive, I guess. I could say, well, I'll just put a really low number here and people will really want to hire me. Well, more than likely they'll think I don't know what I'm doing if I'm willing to work for $3 an hour. Okay? All right, and some of that can be geographic and what area of the world you're in, so that can matter as well. So anyway, then we have skills, and that's what this is. So when I go into skills, by the way, we're talking about this now looking at a completed profile, but it's very possible that when you register for Upwork or other freelance sites, they're going to push you to do this along the way as you register and initially set up. Or right after you register, they're going to suggest that you set all of this up, and I agree. So enter your skills in. Normally you're going to be directed to keep your skills sort of under one major category. If you look at mine, you can see it's under sales and marketing, and that's exactly what I want. Okay. All right, so let me cancel out of that. So that's where you can do. That's what you can do there. This is, I don't know how long they've had this, but you can actually click on and add a video into your profile, which I think is awesome. Now, it may take you a little while to create. I really recommend only a couple minutes, and I may even go back and work on mine, because what I have in here right now is I simply have a video that talks about my approach to sales and marketing. Looks like I have a bad internet connection right now as well, because this isn't playing yet. Oh, there we go. So it's starting to play, and what I've got here is I have a diagram of my approach to sales and marketing. I'm pretty confident, although this isn't beautiful. Let me just maximize this so you can see it. Yeah, it's definitely not beautiful, but what it's, I know for a fact it's landed me work. Having this video and discussing it with a client of mine, he very much told me that that's why he ended up going with me. So having a video in there, I believe, is a really good move and could differentiate you from someone. So I didn't want to have like a live video where I'm talking on the screen, but you could do that. You could have like a webcam video. It doesn't have to look like super professional. It just needs to look good. And it could be just you talking into your webcam. And once people, remember, when people are hiring you, they want to trust you. And by adding a video, that can very much help that. Okay, spend a little bit of time in this. Overview. So an overview here is very much, you can almost think of it as a cover letter to a resume. So I would recommend writing out who you are. And for me, I said, I'm a successful manager of marketing and sales, projects and teams. So you want to keep it broad enough that you're not losing opportunities because you're being too specific, but you also want to have some very specific examples of what it is that you do. And so I generally explained my background and the types of work that I do. And then I immediately went into, here's an achievement that I've recently done. And I only listed one here when it came to online marketing, some success that I've had. And then I listed out the type examples of work that I've done at other organizations, and then more accomplishments. Because what you want when someone is reading your overview, you want them to think about, is this guy going to work for me? So the more examples you can put in of what you've accomplished, the more specific you can present, the better. Okay, so that's the overview. By the way, I don't think there's that many people reading my full overview. It's a little long. I mean, it's good that I have this in here, but I don't believe that many people are reading my full overview. It's kind of wordy.